Well, good afternoon and welcome to the Nutrien Livestock Around the Grounds Livestock Report on behalf of Nutrien Ag Solutions for South East Region and South East Australia. My name's Adam Mountjoy and this afternoon I would like to walk you through a introductory piece for our livestock network, delivering a podcast style delivery. The idea and the aim of today's session is to pick out a few members from our network, have a brief overview of what they're currently up to in their market space, in their centres and in their regions, and provide some up-to-date information and reporting from their patch. So we're going to work our way around the southeast region of Australia this afternoon. And joining me today is Tom Allan from Nutrien in Jamestown, South Australia. Followed up from Tom will be Drew Skinner from Nutrien Livestock in Tasmania, and then finishing off will be Anthony Delaney from Nutrien DLP at Pakenham. And these guys will be able to give us a comprehensive overview of what's happening in their patch. So we'd like to start off with Tom Allan. Tom, welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Adam. I feel quite privileged to be asked to go on the podcast, especially the first time. I think it's a great idea, and yeah, look forward to hearing him in the future.
Fantastic, Tom. No, you were self-anointed to join us on the inaugural event because we had your feedback from some of our Mercado reporting early in the piece, and you liked the way that the podcast was portrayed, and you can listen to it on the road, and wanted to be involved. So welcome aboard. We'll start off, Tom. How's things looking in Jamestown and the surrounds?
Yeah, so Jamestown itself, we're looking extremely good. We, as many areas, had a very dry July. Things weren't looking like they were going to be overly great. And then pretty much in the nick of time, we received a substantial rain, followed up with nearly 2 weeks later another rain event. So things have really are looking good. We're looking like we're going to get a really good hay crop. Hay is starting to hit the ground now, and also the grain harvest is looking like it's going to be fairly good. With our lambs, we've been getting into our suckers. We're not a huge sucker area. We do have a lot of blokes that do lamb in June, July, and also August, September. So they sort of shear them and carry them through, and they'll sell them next year. But the suckers we have been selling, we're probably sort of 70% through them. We've been getting outstanding yields. I think the yields we've achieved this year I'd say they're nearly the highest we've achieved probably in the last 5 years. So that's been a great result. Yeah,
fantastic. Mate, you had an exceptional result last week at your Jamestown spring sale.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, so ourselves and also elders had a combined yarding of about 25,000, with Nutrien yarding probably just over 15, nearly 16,000. And we had some outstanding sheep, and due to the season, they were in very good order. We had a great sale. I think the sale grossed sort of nearly 2.5 mil, I reckon, for the sheep we sold.
Yeah, fantastic result. Fantastic. And buying support, Tom, for that particular sale, we've obviously had our constraints with anyone east of you coming across to Jamestown to buy any sheep. I believe that sale was interfaced with Auctions Plus and led to a very successful uptake from the online platform as well.
Yeah, so myself and a few others sort of made the decision last year that we would try interfacing some of our feature sales, and through that we had a good success, and it's probably grown since then. I did say to you earlier, which I definitely probably still agree with, I don't know if we'll ever be able to conduct a sale now that we don't interface with Auctions Plus. Our clients and also the agents that send the sheep to the yards have just become accustomed to doing that. It is a little bit more work, but we've certainly seen the rewards of the extra effort that we've put in. So I think that'll be a key feature going forward. And we also just get, it opens up our market to a larger crowd, I guess.
No doubt.
So it's been a success for sure.
What we do get to find, I guess, Tom, at the completion of the sale is who's actually active on some of those lots, and I believe the mutton component, given the fact your season has been so buoyant and good for so long, that you've got plenty of weight in your sheep, and might be quite surprising at the end of the sale that the processing fraternity are handling quite a few of your heavy, particularly aged sheep.
Yeah. So we've had a large amount of support from one processor who is very active on heavy breeding ewes. So any ewes that are over 28 kilos dressed, they have been very strong, and they operate purely through Auctions Plus. So we almost see a premium of, it can be up to $20 to $25 a head premium for interface sheep if they're in that slot. So they, and the feedback from them is they really, really enjoy us doing it. They appreciate the extra bit of work that we go to, and they know everything about what they're buying before they start bidding. So he pretty much goes through before the start of the sale and works out what he's willing to pay just on the Auctions Plus details, and away he goes.
Fantastic. And you've got another upcoming sale in October. You'll go again with another off-year sale?
Yeah. So we've got another one. So normally we run fortnightly, but due to the ongoing drought over the last couple of years, our breeding flock north of here is decimated. So we're sort of in a rebuilding phase there. So we're monthly at the minute. So our next sale's on the 22nd of October, where we should yard between 15 and 20,000, I would have thought.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, hopefully we've got some easing of some border restrictions, and we can get across to catch up with you before the end of the year. Anyway, Tom.
Yeah. No, that'd be very good. But it is going very well at the minute, and thankfully we've received some fantastic rains at the right time. So our clients are very upbeat at the minute, and everything's looking all right.
Very good. And do you anticipate a little some store lamb demand? Coming in with the cutting of crops, as you mentioned earlier, and wouldn't be too far away from a header into October.
Yeah. So that's the other thing, is we are looking like having a large amount of. So we have in our area, we do have people that are certainly geared up for feeding lambs and also feeding beef. So we are looking like we're going to have a lot of grain in the silos and also hay in the sheds that they are going to want to utilise. Probably personally, we've been a little bit reluctant to buy store lambs up until about last week. We made the decision that it was probably time to start stepping in. And that was probably coming off of our fingers getting a little bit burnt in autumn, as did a few people. So it's taken us a little bit to get over that, but we're over that and we're into it now. So the demand for store lambs is very good. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of lambs getting sold in the wool, of course, and a lot of merinos in the wool because of the lower wool prices and a little bit difficult in getting shearers. But the lambs that are available are very good. They've got good weight for age and they're nice and fresh. So, yeah.
Fantastic.
Hardest thing for us will be keeping them, not getting them too heavy, I would have thought.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a change in our industry that we've certainly witnessed in the last 7 or 8 months. There's not much point getting them too heavy for the markets that are available currently. So anyway, Tom, thanks very much for your input as number one on our podcast here this afternoon, and stick around and listen to the next couple of guys. The next guy may be of some interest to you for procuring some store lambs down the track. And in segue into that, I'd like to introduce Drew Skinner from Nutrien Livestock in Tasmania. And welcome, Drew.
Thanks, Adam. Welcome everyone. Good to be here. It's a good idea.
Fantastic, Drew. We just wanted to have a bit of a circle around Tasmania to a lot of the network through the integration phase. It'll be new ground for a lot of the legacy landmark people on board that can look at Tasmania now and have an open floor, so to speak, and develop the network with the Nutrien guys in Tas. You've had some terrific results in the last couple of weeks with a fair bit of mainland support. One of those feature events was the landfall bull sale last week, Drew.
Yeah. So landfall last week, obviously interfaced with Auctions Plus. Absolutely outstanding effort by those landfall bulls for the marketing side, but also the support from the mainland centres. Just a bit of a rundown on that. Their 2-year-old bulls on the day went for a top of 30,000 to average 11,200. And then they actually offered a few yearling bulls on the day as well, to a top of 16,000 to average sort of 10,800. So overall, to average, $11,195 over the whole lot. Terrific effort.
Yeah, fantastic. You've had some recent changes in Tasmania, Drew, with the selling facilities available to us down there, and you now operate out of TLX at Parana, along with Elders in the store sales centre there, and you've got a fairly substantial market coming up this week, and a timely one for yourself and your team on Thursday, I believe. Entries up around 2,000 cattle.
Yeah. So 2,000 cattle this coming Thursday. To be 11 o'clock start. So we'll be selling our run out prior to Elders. We are actually going to be interfacing this sale with Auctions Plus. So it'll be a good opportunity, to secure some cattle to go over the water. If obviously that cattle job's pretty smart at the moment, and a lot of people chasing. So that's a good number of cattle to offer here, and especially coming into our spring season as well.
Fantastic, Drew, and it is a good effort to get 2,000 cattle in front of you in September, and the initiative to interface with Plus, that'd be a first for Tasmania.
Absolute first in this type of sale. We feel it's going to put us in good stead going forward. Our major sales, start here from February, March, April time. So if we can get used to the system now, and obviously, get the Tassie product out there, it's only going to be more beneficial for for us in the longer term. So
fantastic. Well, what we've been witnessing here, let's say here in Victoria currently, Drew, is amazing cattle returns. I don't think anybody can say they've seen it any better at the moment, and let's hope this podcast and this broad range advertising that we'll get out for you, Drew, can assist with your sale on Thursday this week, and get a bit of mainland support online, which I congratulate you there with the initiative to interface. Wish you all the best with that sale upcoming this week.
No troubles at all. Yeah, no, we're looking forward to it. Obviously, a little bit more work involved, but we feel that we can do it easily. And as I say, it just under these times, with certain things happening and border restrictions and so forth, it's just still getting the cattle out to the market. So it's only going to be a benefit for our vendors. Yeah,
all the best with that upcoming sale on Thursday, and we encourage the Nutrien team to get on board and see if we can procure a few cattle out of your sale on Thursday. What time does that start, Drew?
That's 11 o'clock start.
Beautiful. Excellent. So, 11 o'clock this Thursday. So wish you and your team all the best with that, and thanks for your time this morning.
Thanks very much, Adam. Thank you.
Good on you. Now, just on finishing in beef mode, once again, I'd like to introduce Anthony Delaney. Anthony from Nutrien DLP at Pakenham. Anthony, we've just had a little bit of flavour of the beef market with Drew in Tasmania. But how's things travelling in your patch in Gippsland? Been quite wet, I believe.
Yeah, going very well, Adam, and just as with everyone else, just thanks very much for the opportunity to be involved in the podcast today. But no, our patch in Gippsland, our business is nestled on the edge of Melbourne and operating throughout Gippsland, Yarra Valley and up toward Yea. But Gippsland itself is just starting to wake up now from, well, certainly south and west Gippsland from a very wet winter. What in cases, if there's such a thing as being too wet, came very close to it. And some say, well, the old timers or so forth, that it's probably the wettest one in 84 years that we've seen. So what we're starting to see now is, as with everywhere, our store markets have remained very buoyant throughout the autumn, winter, and now into the spring patches. However, our buying gallery is what's really noticeably changed. Up until now, there were no agents or farmers really either allowed into the market or active in there anyhow, just with the season being so wet. But now we're starting to see the feedlotters drop off, processors drop off, and that being taken up by bullock fatteners and grass finishers throughout Gippsland. We're right in the heart of our spring sales down here in Gippsland, or probably getting toward the end of them. We've seen our August sales throughout Bairnsdale and Hayfield, our September sales through also Bairnsdale and Sale, and Leongatha really comes to the forefront this Friday with one of their major fixtures for the spring.
No, that's great. I see they've nominated 3,500 cattle for Leongatha on Friday.
That's correct.
I think you're very right in the fact that I think green grass will win the war with cattle out there at the moment. We're heading into an enormous spring season, and finished cattle rates are something that's also unsurpassed. Anthony, can you talk us through what your bullock rate's doing at the moment, and heavy feeders and the like?
Well, I think with our bullock rate at the moment and heavy feeders, everyone sort of is expecting this big crash and big fall that is anticipated to happen with bringing on of numbers. At the moment, with the COVID restrictions, and hopefully at some point in the close future, abattoirs are going to be able to lift their production at least back up to 80%, which they're lobbying for, which is a positive thing for the industry because they want to keep getting the cattle, they want to keep killing them. Like, it's a big lobby at the moment being led by Connors and a few other to lift these restrictions that we've got on metropolitan abattoirs in Victoria. To see $7 still floating around $6.80, $6.75 in September is unheard of. Generally by now is when we really start to see the rate start to drop. And talking to these processors, we will at some point numbers will force a bit of a drop in the price, but I don't think any large fall as it was to last year and years of previous. I think a lot of the cattle that normally would be starting to come out of the system now as prime bullocks are a long way off, just being that with the store market being so good in the autumn, a lot of people have sold their cattle and changed their plan to what they normally would. A lot of these cattle have been purchased by your certain feedlotters of J&F, Hopkins River Tees. Well, they're now fat, dead, gone out of the system. So bring the big sort of run of fat cattle that we normally do see from in Gippsland from October through till March. There certainly will be numbers come on, but they're not going to be in the thousands like they normally are. And I think processors are starting to realise this a little bit and talking the job a lot more positive than they were, say, a month ago. So, and hence why the store market, people are currently, those bullocks that are on the market or being killed at $7, $6.80 or so forth, they're coming out at 24, 25, 26, even 2,700 in some cases. You flip that over, that's where people can start to afford 1,600, 1,700 to put them back into the paddock. So it's certainly a high stakes game, but if you're operating in it all the time and buying and selling in the same market, it is still stacking up.
It's relative, yeah. So, it's an amazing circumstance you find yourself in the season you're about to have. In Tom Allan, you'd nearly be a little bit blushing there that the fact you probably can't achieve $7 for a sucker lamb over the hooks, and these blokes can get it for bullocks in the south.
It's extraordinary, isn't it?
Amazing set of circumstances. But Anthony, just on the store sales front, I know you were at Bairnsdale last week. You mentioned it seems that market was just about the peak of it, was it?
Look, it was. It was certainly south and central Gippsland driven. We had held our fortnightly sale the day before at Pakenham, which we yarded 2,400, I believe there was. It was probably just a little bit more subdued and didn't achieve any higher rates than the fortnight before. Ballarat being similar by all reports, but no, certainly Bairnsdale found a different level again. In saying that too, though, Adam, it was a real sort of fixture on the store sale card down our way in a lot of first drafts of people's lines. And a lot of sought after lines that repeat buyers come back to each year. So we're just starting to see, as I said, we're probably on the tail end of our spring sales now, but it's been a big finish for them.
Fantastic. Well, thanks very much, Anthony, for your update on the southern beef sector there in Gippsland. Okay, on behalf of the group, guys, I'd firstly like to thank our three participants this afternoon in Tom Allan, Nutrien Jamestown, Drew Skinner, Nutrien Tas, and Anthony Delaney, once again from Nutrien at Pakenham. Guys, thank you very much for your input this afternoon, and we look to make this a regular event, picking and selecting from our team throughout the southeast region, and looking for some key updates on seasons and features and fixtures. There is just a couple of reminders and a couple of suggestions for our Nutrien Livestock team out of our podcast here today, and that's in order, I guess, is Drew with your team with the Interface Dachshunds Plus sale coming up at TLX at Piranha on Thursday. We have Tom, you've got your upcoming sale in October, the off-year special in Jamestown, and there is also Lee and Gaffer store cattle sale this Friday on the 25th. there is actually another twilight event that the Nutrien team are putting on Auctions Plus, which a reminder to the team out there that there is a standalone Nutrien feature female sale on Auctions Plus this Thursday evening, commencing at 7 o'clock. And that's our twilight event once again, where we'll see just upwards of 1,000 females put on the market on behalf of our agents and agencies within South East region. So congratulations to everybody involved in those upcoming events, and we wish you all the best, and we will be in touch with our round 2 of Around the Grounds in a fortnight's time. Thanks very much.